15th, as a white person, I shut the fuck up for a day. So that's tomorrow's Friday. Yeah. So not gonna be streaming tomorrow on Friday, and to come back on Monday. Okay. My VPN ran out of time suddenly, and so I was disconnected from the internet for just a little bit. We're back now. Die, man. It says I'm live, but the stream manager is frozen. Is that reflected in reality elsewhere? Hang on. Yeah, this is saying I'm live. You're seeing the tunnel and everything. All right. Let's stop that before it goes too deep. Oh, the internet's blocked on the phone too because the VPN ran out on the phone also, because that's how that works. Gonna go ahead and disconnect from Molvad for the moment. And now I should be able to bring Stream Manager back up. There we go. Even pretty low latency still. All right, let's move on to B5.
You have solved many of the mysteries of this land.
Hi, Elohim.
The road before you is still long and many gates remain closed.
Uh-huh.
But take comfort in your accomplishment and in your creator's pride.
Your approval fills me with shame. Terminal's beeping at us. We're just looking at archives for the moment. Osiris 7. Tell me of the fearsome demons of the dust, the dying man said to the wise scribe. Though their terrible forms are loathsome to behold, they are not evil, for they are the servants of the gods. Truly, they are the blessed doorkeepers and guardians of holy paths. Their charge is to judge whether we are worthy to pass the gates that lead to Aru, and so they challenge us with riddles or in combat. Is this true of all the beings that live in the dust? Some say that it is not so, that there are ancient gods whose names have been forgotten, and spirits of darkness whose name none have ever known, and that these must be avoided at all cost. But others say that these too serve a greater purpose in ways that Osiris has not revealed to us. And what of the hidden paths that are taken by glitch out when the continuing glitching? Coming soon. Email. From Rob McLean, Institute for Applied Pneumatics, to Mom. Subject, coming soon, your son, in 3D. Hi, Mom. I promise I'll be home soon, maybe a couple of weeks. I know, but what we're doing here is important, and the team needs my help. I'm not going to wait until it's too late, I promise, but there's so much we have to get set up, so much that has to work for a very, very long time. Besides, I've always wanted to work on one of these supercomputers, and believe me, EL is pretty much the best there is. And the team, Mom, it's like I'm working with rock stars and mad geniuses, except nobody's heard of them outside science journals, of course. But Dad would be totally geeking out if he knew. Maybe I can tell him about it soon, huh? Love, Rob. Blog24 alive.html. What is the point of being alive? I know it's an old question and not one that's easy to answer, but I mean, if you're reading this, you are alive, and someday you will stop being alive. Both of these facts are incontrovertible. So, what about it then? Don't you wonder? Do you just want to go from not existing to not existing again without even considering why? You, right now, as you sit there reading this, why do you exist? What is the purpose of your life? Do you have one? Should you have one? Is it better to have a purpose or not? When you approach death, will you feel that your life had meaning? If so, why? And if not, why not? What defines whether a life was good or not? It may seem abstract right now, but that moment just before death will come. It is inevitable. If you don't ask yourself these questions, how will you face that moment? Another completely beautiful outdoor space leading to a whole bunch of puzzle rooms. Let's wander around it before we jump into the solving. There's a great big altar thingy over here. It's like half buried in the water. I presume we can't get over to it. The words and the word made the world. Yeah. It still doesn't like us to go underwater. This one's a lot more open than the last couple have been. The last couple of puzzle hubs have been mostly walled in. This is like the most open one we've seen since we've left the Grecian gardens. There's even a little stream or creek. I don't think it gets to be called a crick unless you're in the southern United States. Willick Crick. I was about to say forced, and it was mandatory for the class, but it was a good time. Watch Mr. Smith Goes to Washington in our high school social studies class. A movie that absolutely bangs. Just look at this view. There may be a lot that I don't understand, but I know that this is beautiful. At 17. Well, so that's definitely a laser emitter on top of that obelisk. Like, look right at it. Nothing should be blinking right like that. Oh, no, it's not. That's not a thing that's blinking. That's the gold star for this area on top of the obelisk, catching the light as it spins around. There is a blue receiver on the bottom of the obelisk, which is presumably how we get the obelisk to drop. There's also a fan launcher over here, but we don't have a fan. Oh, okay. So the obelisk won't drop. The blue receiver will turn on the fan gearbox, which doesn't have a fan on it right now. But when we do have one, and we put it on there, and it's on, it will shoot us up to the top of the obelisk where we will grab the gold star. But we need to figure out how to make all of that happen, and we don't know that yet. There's a note on the other side, though. I have been running this gauntlet for generations, trying to find the right answers. I am fast coming to the conclusion that there are none. Dog 55. I am suspicious of this thing I am seeing in the sky. So, like, over in the distance there's something that could be the moon, except it's very, very small. There's a note on the wall. The answers to your questions will not be given to you. You must seek them yourself. Shepherd 82. I am resisting the urge to do a mocking voice. Here's another half-sunken temple-like thing. With enough, like, ancillary wall structure that sort of makes it look like this was a puzzle room that just got overtaken by water. And in fact, there's a sound. Hang on. Yeah. That's one of the... I forget which one. I don't know the sounds that well, but there's one of the puzzle elements behind here in this little box that we can't reach that's going off. Can I see what it is from back here? No. Is there another way I can reach that? Is there a way I can get on top of these walls and start walking around? The voice keeps saying that this world is a garden, but all I see is a desert full of ruins. Dog 55. Hum. I can't get into there easily. So I'm gonna put a pin in that and come back to it later once I maybe have some more tools at my disposal. What if I had to jump across all of these pillars? That would be hella dangerous. That doesn't mean I can't or shouldn't. Oh, there's a terminal around here. There it is. Checking network drives, looking at list. Network still inaccessible. Alright. Hippocratic corpus.txt. On the sacred disease from 400 BCE. Men ought to know that from nothing else but the brain come joys, delights, laughter, and sports, and sorrows, griefs, despondency, and lamentations. And by this, in an especial manner, we acquire wisdom and knowledge, and see and hear, and know what are foul and what are fair, what are bad and what are good, what are sweet and what unsavory. Some we discriminate by habit, some we perceive by their utility. By this we distinguish objects of relish and disrelish, according to the seasons, and the same things do not always please us, and by the same organ we become mad and delirious, and fears and terrors assail us, some by night and some by day, and dreams and untimely wanderings and cares that are not suitable, and ignorance of present circumstance, desuetude, and unskillfulness, desuetude. 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 A state of disuse or inactivity, the cessation of use, disuse, discontinuance of practice, custom, or fashion. Desuetude. I don't know if that picked up. I'm gonna pretend it did. Oh, whoops. Chestertonbrain.txt. The human brain is a machine for coming to conclusions. If it cannot come to conclusions, it is rusty. When we hear of a man too clever to believe, we are hearing of something having almost the character of a contradiction in terms. It is like hearing of a nail that was too good to hold down a carpet, or a bolt that was too strong to keep a door shut. Man can hardly be defined, after the fashion of Carlyle, as an animal who makes tools. Ants and beavers and many other animals make tools, in the sense that they make an apparatus. Man can be defined as an animal that makes dogmas. As he piles doctrine on doctrine and conclusion on conclusion in the formation of some tremendous scheme of philosophy and religion, he is, in the only legitimate sense of which the expression is capable, becoming more and more human. When he drops one doctrine after another in a refined skepticism, when he declines to tie himself to a system, when he says that he has outgrown definitions, when he says that he disbelieves in finality, when, in his own imagination, he sits as God holding no form of creed but contemplating all, then he is, by that very process, sinking slowly backwards into the vagueness of the vagrant animals and the unconsciousness of the grass. Trees have no dogmas. Turnips are singularly broad-minded. Bronstein brain.txt for presumably a counter-argument. There's a whole bunch of that code in here, but it brackets a completed paragraph. I'm just going to go with that. The human brain is a product of the development of matter, and at the same time it is an instrument for the cognition of this matter. Gradually, it adjusts itself to its function, tries to overcome its limitations, creates ever new scientific methods, imagines ever more complex and exact instruments, checks its work again and yet again, step by step, penetrates into previously unknown depths, changes our conception of matter without, through, ever breaking away. Changes our definition of matter, though, without, though, ever breaking away from this basis of all that exists. We also have neuroscience.txt. Physiological history. Volunteer suffered a blood clot during infancy, which resulted in a left hemisphere stroke. Expected result. In normal adults, the left hemisphere is used for language and other cognitive functions. Extensive damage to this part of the brain usually results in severe cognitive deficiencies. Observed result. Volunteer is now 17 years old and displays only very subtle cognitive deficiency. MRIs indicate little to no activity in the left hemisphere, suggesting its usual functions have been taken on by neuron sets in the right. Volunteer's age at the time of the stroke may have helped the brain to adapt. You do love to see it. I think, well, you don't. You would rather see it go a different way. But it having gone that way, I think that's everything. We might see some other stuff as we delve into the puzzle rooms, but let's go ahead and start doing that. Start with the left. Huh. Okay. So this has like all of the trappings of a puzzle room, but there's no membrane over the gate, and there's no elements inside of it. And the sign that would ordinarily be out in front of it is on the ground. So this room is broken. Try again later. Continuing clockwise to Alley of the Pressure Plates. Okay. This looks reasonably simple. So we have a It's exactly what it says on the tin. There's a row of 1, 2, 3, possibly 4. No, it's just 3 barriers in a row, all of them controlled by pressure plates, and one box between them. There is also a recording device and a connector and a fan which is blowing up towards the um, blowing up towards the place where the blue laser comes through and comes out the other side. The fan appears to be connected to the laser receiver. So we can use the record function to get all the way through here, down the whole alley of the pressure plates. And I'll do that in just a moment. I need to step away and do something very quickly. All right. Just had to take a second to do a domestic thing. So, given that, I don't think there's a lot we can do with all of these other elements as presented to us. Let's go ahead and run down the alley and see what that gets us. So we take the connector off of there and use it to press down that button. Use the box to put down that button. And we're going to go ahead and record this state of play for, oh, I don't know. I kind of want to give us a long time to make sure we can get back if we have to. Let's call it 30 seconds. We'll just have a sip of this drink in the meantime. And we don't even really need to do anything. We can just get all of that open. Huh, and that leads us over to here, where the Tetramino is, but it's locked behind a... behind a thing that has a receiver. It's locked behind a barrier with a blue laser receiver. So, okay. So, we need both the box and the... We need both the box and the connector to set up the laser such that it hits the receiver over there, because what we need to do is put the box on the fan and then put the connector on top of the box, so that raises the connector enough so that we can hit the receiver and the emitter in that receiver behind it. But we also need to press down 4 pressure plates. In order to make that go. Alright, so hang on. First I'm going to go ahead and get the box and the connector back on this side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, wait, I'm not going to be able to do this way, am I? No, I need at least one thing. Yeah, I can stand here and open that gate, but that doesn't matter because I can't move off of this spot. I need to reset the room states. Do I do that by just exiting it and then entering it again? No. Is there a button that will reset the room state for me? Hang on. Let's look at keyboard and mouse. Configure keys. Look up, left down, jump, secondary fire, use, alternative use, right click, sprint, toggle sprint, third person view, reset journal, fast forward, zoom, default head pose. Invoke menu, that's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not going to be using. Restart checkpoint? Oh yeah, that does it. Oh, apparently I can hold X to reset, even though that's not in the things I just read. Thanks for letting me know. Hang on, I need to actually turn on the overhead light in this room. There we go. So... how do I do this? Oh, okay, I do have another element to this. I was like, I need like one more thing in order to be able to hold all of this down, and I do have one more thing. I have the fan blades. So, hang on. I need to... Huh, no, that's not going to do it either, is it? Because I'm going to need a way to... Alright, I'm just going to need to use the record a lot more liberally than I thought it was going to. Alright, so how do I do this? First, let's go ahead and take the connector off of this and the hexahedron off of that. Hit record, and we're just going to stand here on this spot for a bit, for just a bit, because we're going to have to do some like complicated setup to make this work the way I want it to work. Probably 30 seconds will be fine. Let's give it 35 just for the fuck of it. I can always like stop it sooner if I have to. Okay, there we go. So, our double goes and stands over there. We set down that there. We take the connector. We hit all three of the elements that need connecting and put it on top of the box. And that causes all of those things to go off. Cool. Now we just kind of wait for the clock to run out. I can just stop it. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to start the record again and stand on this button for another like 30 seconds or whatever, and then go stand on this button for as long as it takes to do the rest of the shit I need to do. Because if I record this state, then the ghost of the connector will still be hitting that laser, which will work the same way. And in the meantime, I can take the real-time hexahedron connector and the fan blade and use them to weight down all of these pressure plates. And then I can go have my ghost stand on this one for a while. So we're just going to stand here for a bit. I'm going to sip my drink while I wait. The warmer it gets, the more the sort of artificial sweetener is coming forward in the flavor profile of that drink. There's only so much I can do about that, I guess. We'll call it, what, 50 seconds? I want to make sure I have a good long time for it. And I'll stand over here for another, like... for another little while. It doesn't have to be that long, because once I have all of the elements through here, I can just put them down and it won't matter. But I still want to make really sure I have enough time to do that. Yeah, that's probably good enough. And so now we hit play. Ghost goes and stands over there. I use the... Ah, shit. Well, that's okay. I can just knock them out with my body. And put that down there. And then I'll take this fan off. And here in just a little while, the ghost is going to come over and step on that. And then I can walk through this first barrier and put this fan down on the last of those pressure plates and run over to where the tetromino is in time, I think. Thank you. And there we go. Wonderful. All right, you can rest now. Thank you for your service. Let's move on to... Ooh, well, hang on. Let's not move on to just yet. Or actually, yeah, let's move on to. I can check that a different way. I was going to say I should use the connector to check and see if that one dot up in the sky that I'm presuming is the moon, but whatever. Behind the Iron Curtain is the name of this room, is actually a connector of some kind. But no, it doesn't appear to be. So what do we do here? Here's where our Z piece is. It's behind a barrier locked with a... It's behind a barrier locked with a blue receiver. I don't see a blue emitter anywhere, but that doesn't mean there isn't one. There's a couple barriers off to the forward and the right that are controlled by buttons, so let's take the connector we have and button those down. Okay, so behind this one, there's another red receiver that's linked to a fan that would push us up to a platform that would eventually get us into this sort of fenced off area where there is another connector in a box. So we need to figure out how to extract those. And over this way is a thing with a box. So let's take the thing with the box. Oh, that's cute. So there's in this room there's another two barriers. One of them is opened by a button and has another red emitter behind it. The other one is closed off by a red receiver and has the blue emitter behind it and another hexahedron. But we can't just use the tools we have to open both of those, to open that barrier with the red emitter and then use the connector to connect it to the emitter, because the buttons that do those things are in line. And no matter which way around we put them, the button and the connector, it'll block. Oh, no, it won't. Oh. Well, that's what I get for talking big. No, that worked just fine. I was kind of misreading the way the the game displays the things, the way the game displays what the connectors are connected to. Anyway, we got that box out. There's still the blue receiver back here, and we need to grab it and fire it over there. But we can't really do that. Or can we? Hey, can we just do that? It kind of feels like we can just do that. Hang on. Close that off. Oh, no, we can't do that because I can't use a connector to connect to both a red and blue emitter. So if I try to do that way, then I can get all those pieces open. But yeah, the second that hits that, then it sort of fucks up the whole deal. So that's why that second connector is over there, because I need to be able to get it out so that I have a different connector to connect to the red and blue emitters. I don't need to worry about what this box is doing right now. So put it over here. And I guess we can just kind of do this. We can use that to open that. Which brings us up here. Where there is this fenced-in area with the hexahedron and the connector. And we can get in and out of here pretty easily. Huh, okay. So we can get in and out of here because there's a ladder, but we can't carry things up the ladder. And there's another hole where we could probably put the box down and then put the connector on top of it and be able to lift the connector up through that hole, except that we need to hit both of these pressure plates down here in order to open that barrier. And we don't have another thing to pressure this pressure plate with. Besides us, and there's not a recorder in this room for us to be able to just use our ghost to do that. But we have a spare box, I think. Yeah, we have a spare box. We can just do this. There we go. I'll just bring our extra box in here. Set that down. That pressures both the plates. And it's still not enough for me to be able to... Oh, hang on. I do it like this. Huh. So I'd kind of assumed that putting the connector on top of the box would get it up high enough that I would be able to reach it from here. But that's not the case. I need to get it further up, I guess. Does that mean I need to bring another thing in here so that I can stack the boxes like on top of each other? Yes, and I know how I can do that. I take this other box, and I just use the connector to both trip the fan and pressure the plate. It can do both things at once. Get you a connector that can do both. And I'll set that down there. Set that up there. And okay, well, I did that slightly wrong the first time, but that doesn't matter. I did get the connector out of there. Can I pull that secondary box out of there now? Or does that matter? No, I have to jump down in order to take the hexahedron. So those boxes just live there in the fence area now. Fence area. Fourth but I don't need to get into there anymore, so I can just use this fan to pressure that plate. Okay. Well, I thought I had this. I thought it was really close to it. But I'm still missing something. So the problem that I'm now having is even if I use... Hang on, let me do it, because I assumed last time, and I made an ass of me and also me. So even if I use that connector to weigh that pressure plate down and make that go, I still can't just take the connector and use it to send it to take the blue connector and send it out to the blue emitter there because, oh, well, that's what I get for assuming. That's why I tried it. I thought that the lasers were at heights that they were going to interact and negate each other, but no. It's open. I was overthinking it. I grabbed the tetromino. We can move on. Pardon me. The 4 chambers of flying. Okay. So I'm seeing a whole bunch of launchers. So that's going to be fun. Let's take this. Oh, well, that doesn't, help. We have a bunch of... Huh, okay. So... Where's the tetromino here? Can I see that? Okay. So working backwards, the tetromino here is behind this barrier, which needs a red laser. There is also just a shit ton of launchers. Where do these go? That one shoots me all the way to the front of the level. And the rest of the launchers are stuck behind, not stuck, I guess. Well, it's not like they can move. Behind these sort of locks. They're in little rooms of their own, where there's barriers in front of them that are off and a pressure plate outside. And when I step on the pressure plate, it both closes the barrier and turns on the launcher. So I can't really launch my body with these because I can't, even if I used a thing to pressure the plate, then I wouldn't be able to get through to here because it would turn on the barrier. So I have to put an object down here on the launcher and launch it. That's true of both of those. Here's where the red laser emitter is. And the connector for it is also behind this barrier, which needs a pressure plate. So let's do like this. And just pull that out. Hang on, can I just really quick connect to both of those? There's not really, there's absolutely no, in fact, place whatsoever where I can do both of those. There's no place that both of those just sort of sit comfortably. Hey, what happens when I launch one? Oh, right. The connectors don't launch by themselves because connectors don't interact with fans usefully. I need to put that on a box if I want it to do that thing. Is there another box somewhere in here that I can fuck around with? No, but there's a jammer back there. That's interesting. Okay. Hang on, how do I get to that jammer? What pushes the... It's probably that one, right? Let's grab the box, and then use the launcher to launch it over there. And you can weight that down and extricate this jammer from its prison. Oh, hang on. And now, where does stuff go when I put it on this launcher? Because I don't think I know that. It launches it over there. Good. I'm glad we sorted that out. What does over there mean in this context? Not into that area. Just like back here? Yeah, like back into this corner. I'm not sure that's useful. So I can take the fans off of these and use them to weight down buttons. Is that good? Oh, there's notes over here that I didn't see. Let's go ahead and read those while I sort of puzzle this out. I'm getting better at this. I figured this one out in minutes, but where's it all leading? I work, I rest, I work, but to what end? Schmo, version 37. We are born and die and live again. This eternal cycle must be the nature of existence. Life is merely repeated suffering. Samsara 72. An eternal cycle is another name for a prison, but you must understand the cycle before you can break it, for it is possible to escape and yet remain a prisoner, or to break the cycle by breaking yourself. This was the fate of the ghost that haunts this world. Shepherd 82. Huh. So, like, my main problem, as I see it, is that there's not a way to hit both of the... to hit the emitter and receiver with only one connector. I mean, presumably there is, because it's a puzzle that was designed with a solution, etc. But I don't see what it is. There's not an easy way to do that. There's not even, like, needle threading I can do here, because, like, this is about as far as I can pull it this way, and that doesn't let me see the emitter from there. Can I just use the jammer to shut off the... Yeah. That doesn't seem like I should be able to do that. It feels like I should be doing something a little more clever. But no, I can, in fact, just use the jammer to shut this off. Fuck all the rest of that stuff. Hmm. So there's, I think, only one more puzzle room here. And then I still need to think about how I'm supposed to get a blue laser over to the emitter in the obelisk. And also a fan blade. I need to get a fan blade over there too. Me, myself, and our 2 jammers. We have a record box and a jammer. Let's go ahead and jam this barrier open so we can see what's... Ooh, okay. So we can see what's further in here. And I realized just in the nick of time that the thing that's in here is our friend the laser turret. We haven't seen the laser turret in a while. Good, so I'm going to need to use the jammer on that. Is there just the one, or is there 2 of them? It looks like there's just the one. Is that other barrier over by the laser turret the only other thing stopping me from coming to get this to Tromino? No, there is in fact another laser turret over there. All right, and I'm supposed to be able to use the record to help me out here somehow. So, how about this? Can I do this? Let's set that to jam the laser turret. Then I'll hit record and come stand on this first switch for for a little while. I don't actually like stepping on switches for a very long period of time. It feels like it should be more like back and forth as a switch myself. That's probably good. Now I'll go ahead and grab this. And that is jammed. And can I jam the other laser turret from here? I sure can't. I most absolutely cannot. All right, let's get back to the first part before the ghost fades and I'm stuck back there with an unjammed laser turret. Okay. How do I pull this off? Okay, hang on. I think I'm getting there. I think what I need to do is record a state of play where this jammer is sitting on that button over there past the laser turret, the first laser turret, actively jamming that laser turret. Because then, if I have that recorded, and I also use that ghost to press down this first button, that means 3 of the 4 things in the way of me getting to the goal are neutralized, and I'll still have the real-time jammer that I can use to jam that last turret. Yes, yes, that's what I need to do. So, reset record. I'm going to stand here for... Oh, it doesn't have to be that long. We'll call it 15 seconds. It means I'm going to have to go fast when I do this thing. Oh, no, wait, hang on. That doesn't even work. No, stop it. We're not doing that. I need to remember to jam this first because I'm going to be dragging the jammer in there and I still need that jammed. Right, so record. And call it 20 seconds. Give myself a Michael or Bruce buffer. Probably Bruce. I hear he's less litigious. Alright. Time to play. Ghost goes over there and does that. I set the jammer on top of the button, jamming the thing. And walk out. I had plenty of time to do that. Right, now we record another ghost to go step on this button. It's also recording that jammer being... It also records that jammer being on the button and jamming that first turret. Well, again, call it like 25 seconds for safety. I don't think I'll need that long. But I'd rather have the extra time and not need it than need the extra time and not have it. Here we go. So Ghost goes over there. I pick up this jammer, but that's fine because the door is still open because the Ghost jammer's there. I use the real-time jammer to jam that turret, and there's our L piece. Wonderful. Excited by it. So which of these... Oh, no, that's not what I needed. Which of these rooms have blue laser emitters? I miss one? Says I missed one. I thought I got all of these. Did I not go in through here? No, I sure didn't. Slightly elevated sigil. Okay, so... We've got... a blue laser emitter and a couple of receivers. Here's the Tetromino. It's behind this barrier that's also locked by a blue receiver. Hi there, Darkfire System. Please let me know if you'd like to be called something that isn't your username. I'm happy to have you. I'm September. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell I'm meant to do with all these lasers at the moment. So let's go ahead and do the thing that we know we're supposed to do and use the connector to open up this barrier, which has another connector behind it. So now we have even more stuff to interact with. Our goal is, hang on, pull the hexahedron out of there too. We need to get that emitter over to the laser. And can we do that if we just put the... Yeah, I think we can just do this one easily. We usually go by Void, but you can call us whatever. Names are important to me. I like calling people the thing they like to be called. We are just going to connect that to that and that, and then put it up there. It can't see the emitter right now, but that's fine, because we're going to use this other connector to do that. Raises the box in the air, and sorry, it raises the box in the air, and that should have opened the barrier behind the sure doesn't. Well, okay, we have another connector. That's what that's for. Let's grab it. Connect there to there. Oh, and we have all of the puzzle pieces we need to open C bunker now. Good. We go by both. Good to know. How are you? I hope your day's going okay. Or evening, I guess, depending on where you are. I think... I think that having that up high enough... I think that's up high enough that I can use it to get a... to get that laser over to the obelisk. So we can grab that gold star too. But I have like a bunch of other stuff that needs to get over there that I don't know how to get over there. I'm gonna go have a look around real quick. Full on night, it's about 9:30 p.m. Yeah, same here. Yeah, that's definitely up high enough that if I get a... that if I can manage to find a connector, I can absolutely shoot it over there. But I can't take that one out because it hits the membrane. Is there one in here in the empty puzzle room? No, sure isn't. Huh. Is there... Hang on. Okay, no, the walls are such that I don't think I could reach the connector I have up in the sky from any of the other puzzle rooms. Oh, maybe this one over here. I might have to create a very interesting web. Probably not. But I'm gonna damn well try. I need to get all this applesauce back. Actually, I don't think... Yeah, that wall's too high to be able to get the connector over that if I use the fan. Uh, I I presume that I know the answer, but what made you want to stop into the stream? Are you familiar with the game? Yeah, I can't reach that from there. Plural tag, low viewers, not affiliate, wanted to help support. I'm very happy you chose to. That means a lot. We are specifically trying to reach affiliate right now because we had been previously and lost it for complicated reasons. And so now we are back on that grind. I don't think I can do anything interesting with a jammer in here. And I think even if I get this connector out of here, I won't actually be able to hit the... connector over there in a useful way. Luckily, it's easier now than ever. Yeah. We first got our affiliate tag like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, and it was a result of like our partner at the time and us working together to like combining our channels to create a megalovania. That's not the word I want. It's a little bit harder doing it by ourselves. Milton apparently wants to speak to us. Oh no, right. It's not Milton. We actually have network communications now. Attention administrator. The network connection has been reestablished. Would you like to reconnect to the previous session? Yes, please. Are you back? Yeah, what were you trying to say before? Don't remember. Doesn't matter. I've been trying to figure out how this place works. Sometimes it seems like there's a purpose to everything, other times, not so much. I think we must be plugged into some kind of machine. I think something else is going on. What do you have to go on? Making assertions is a hazardous enterprise. I think what do you have to go on? Like, I also think we're plugged into some kind of machine for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that sometimes shit just glitches out for no reason. But I can't just say, hey, I agree with that. So what do you have to go on? What else could possibly explain all this? I don't believe in demons and evil wizards. I think this is some kind of punishment. I think we're being prepared for something. I think something has gone badly wrong. Perhaps you have it right after all. I don't believe in anything anymore. I think perhaps you have it right after all. Perhaps. Who knows, right? Listen, there's something else. Maybe it can help us. Suppose we are in some kind of computer program. These things always have a back door, right? I think I found it. I think I have found it. I think we can escape. There's this keyword I found repeated all over the place. I just don't know how to use it. I have no idea either. What is it? Or you shouldn't dig too deep. No, what is it? Swear not to go anywhere without me and I'll tell you. MLA process.bat logged into the session. Wait, what is that? Are you doing that to my terminal? I don't think this is a good idea. Session terminated. Cool, great, thanks, Milton. New York Times, Christ, what an asshole.jpg. I'm gonna leave the laser question alone for right now because there's other questions I need to solve in order to get that. We'll come back to it when you do another sweep through for the harder puzzles, I think. Instead of that, let's move on to B6.
When you overcome one of my trials,
Oh my god.
do you not feel the pleasure of having discovered the proper order of things? That is the spark of Elohim within you, to create order from chaos. And therein is revealed the true meaning of our sigils.
Right, thanks, Elohim. Like, it is true that I like solving puzzles. I just talked about aha moments a little while ago and how cool those are. The fact that you're taking fucking credit for that sucks. Okay, we have a terminal blinking at us. Osiris11.txt. But why, the dying man said, do the gods put all of these challenges before us? Why the walls of iron and the gates of light? Why the abominable demons guarding the path? Why must our heart be judged to be as light as the feather of Ma'at? Why is the road to Aru so difficult? The scribe considered these words. Some say that once the paths to Aru were open, but too many sinners came, and the gods made the paths perilous to keep sin at bay. Others to say that, being mortals, which is annotated with 3, but annotation 3 on this page is errored out. Others say that being mortals, we cannot be worthy of Aru unless we walk the path of Osiris, and so become Osiris ourselves. But I believe that Aru could never be reached elsewise, for like the mountain path must be steep, the path to Aru must be fraught with peril, As steepness and mountain are one, so are peril and paradise. They are inextricable. They create each other. Uh, we don't have what annotations 1 or 2 connect to, but we still have the annotations. 1, there is an interesting parallel to this phrase in the penitential psalms, and then more errors. When the scribe appears to be speaking of Osiris, a lot of errors, meaning the soul of the deceased, not the god himself. Progress report 16 dot email. From Aurora Calvin to the Ian mailing list. This is extremely worrying. If the link doesn't work, the whole project will lead to nothing. The hardware team must recheck everything ASAP. Guys, stop panicking. Look at your code again. In fact, look at line 217 in data transfer C. What are those 2 symbols just before the code? The double slash. That's right. The code that actually initiates the transfer wasn't even running. I guess you were testing something yesterday and forgot to decommentify it. The hardware isn't broken, your brains are. Love, Aurora. Choice of life.txt. The whole assembly stood... Sorry, gonna try that again. The whole assembly stood a while... One more fucking time. Why do I keep tripping on a while? The whole assembly stood a while, silent and collected. Let us return, said Rastilus, from this scene of mortality. How gloomy would these mansions of the dead to him who did not know that he should never die, that now acts shall continue its agency, and what now thinks shall think on forever. Archive from 1759 CE, written by Samuel Johnson. Pardon. Homage to you, Osiris, Lord of eternity, King of the gods, whose names are manifold, whose forms are holy, you being of hidden form in the temples, whose Ka is holy. All the gods praise you, for you are the error code. Those that lie here stretched before us, the wise and the powerful of ancient times, warn us to remember the shortness of our times, warn us to remember the shortness of our present state. They were perhaps snatched away while they were busy, like us, in the choice of life. We should be getting to bed, have a blood draw tomorrow. I hope that you do not have a terrible fear of needles. I hope that your blood draw goes as well as can be. Perhaps we'll see you later. I don't have a fear of needles, just terrible veins. You show those veins who's boss, or have your doctor or nurse show those veins who's boss on your behalf. Thank you for stopping in. There are a couple notes on the wall. Let's have a look. I seek words to describe it, but fail. It is the overwhelming feeling that something on the very edge of my understanding is very, very wrong. I feel that I am not meant for this world, but I am not able to I feel that I am not meant for this world, but I am not able to conceptualize alternatives. Grolix version 0. I'm a computer program, you're a computer program, Elohim's a computer program. Get over it. Heisenstein 60. All right. Listen, I respect you, Heisenstein, for just coming out and saying the thing. You don't have to be such an ass about it. What's more pathetic? This shallow construct of a world, this idiot's playground, or that I continue to solve its contrivances for lack of better sport? Dog 55. There's more to it. Look at what we're doing. We're solving problems, being tested, improving ourselves. Some of us fall early and get replaced, but you and me, we're still going. We're closer to the end. Sheep 69. Are there any more notes out here in this courtyard? It does not look like it. Egyptian Arcade, which was one of my favorite shows on early Nickelodeon. There's a fucking piece of echolalia from that show. I guess it's not echolalia because we don't actually say it much. It's one of the things that like sort of spins around our heads sometimes. Because the host Kevin used to sing along with the theme tune as they went to and from video game challenges. I remember specifically like the challenge was Bonk, the TurboGrafx 16 game, and I can't remember whether or not the kids won that challenge, but I do very much remember them coming back to like the main stage to do the like main part of the game show, and the theme tune winding down, and Kevin just going, "Bonk has got a big old head." Which is true. It's the main feature of the video game. I swear to God, I saw a fucking jammer around here somewhere before I got on a tangent. Oh, okay, there we go. We're gonna take this jammer, which we're gonna need because there's a whole bunch of these fucking balls around, the ones that explode. Are those far enough away from each other that... No, no, no. No, no, no. I definitely die if I try that. So... over here, there's another ball, which is just sort of smacking itself back and forth between these two barriers. So I guess what we do is just open this barrier here on this side. And, no, the balls don't interact that way, do they? They don't blow each other up if they impact each other. This was a bad idea. Oh, I'm definitely about to die. Yep. Alright, so that doesn't help. If we want to, I guess... Hang on. I can... jam one of these balls on this far side. And then wait for the other ball that's going up and down this long hallway to get over here too. And I'm not going to be able to juke around it, but I can get far enough this way. Oh, wonderful. Exactly what I wanted. Thank you. I can get far enough this way that I can grab that and jam that. Huh, if I rush out, am I gonna be able to... get that far enough away? No, but it doesn't matter. I just unjam that first ball, wait for it to go past where I have the jammer set up. Except it doesn't because I put it too far there. Unfortunate. Nope, that's fine. Got away with it anyway. So, we do that. Those two explodey balls can now run free. Take a sip of my drink. And now I guess I just use these jammers to... Is there a ball on the other side of that? Yeah, there sure is, huh? Fuck. Okay, so first of all, let's unjam this barrier. And we'll let the ball come through. And then we'll go ahead and unjam that one. Ooh, also, I needed to do that faster. Oh, does that reset the whole thing? It sure does. There's not checkpoints in the puzzles. Okay, that's fine. It said, not mad at all. I've never been mad. What do you think? Okay. So we wait for this one to come back. We know how to extract this jammer. We just need to do it again real quick. I can just run in and out. I don't have to do that fancy shit I was doing with the double jammers. So, we'll put that down there. And the second the ball... well... Hang on. Oh, okay, that's not the Tetramino at the far end of that hallway with the two barriers. That's a key ring, and I need that key ring to open this gate. So there's probably more to this puzzle on the other side of this, but I'll deal with that when I get to it. I need to go get those keys first. We'll pull that out. I needed to do that faster. Okay. I need to not talk out what I'm doing while I do that, so that I can actually do it at a reasonable speed. We do that. Wait for the other ball to come down. We'll grab the jammer, run our way back this way. All right. We jam that barrier. Walk in, jam that other barrier, very quickly walk out. Oh, those balls are impacting on each other, aren't they? Yeah, they sure are. I was hoping I could draw both of those balls out. No, that's not how I do this. How I do this is I get both of those jammers into that area, and I can do that, I just need to do it quickly. Yeah, that's completely doable. Okay, we jammed that. Pull that out. Set that up so it jams the other side. Get the fuck out of the way. Did I actually do that correctly? Yes, I did. Okay. We put the other jammer in there, and now we wait for the ball to come back out. Swoop in, unjam that barrier so it's safe now for a given value safe. Unjam that. We can jam that ball. We come through here. Grab that key. Oh, this is going to be a fun timing challenge. Which one of these is pointing at the... That one's pointing at the ball. This one's pointing at the... Yeah, that one's pointing at the barrier. Okay. So we just do that, and then hope we don't need those jammers here in a second, because we are absolutely leaving those behind. A note on the wall. This whole world is a desert. Even the parts that look alive are just more sand. Everything is dead or dying. Anyone who tells you different is lying. Dog 55. Crap. I am gonna need those jammers because there's a couple fucking laser turrets over there on that wall. Okay. That's fine for given value of the term. Ah, damn. Did it save the gate being open? Sure didn't. Gonna have to do all that again. There has to be a cleaner way to do that, one that exposes me to a lot less risk of being exploded by balls. Nope. Grab. Okay. Well, we know how to do the rest of that shit, so we just redo all of that. Nice and easy. Coming this way, jam it again. Wait patiently for the ball to come back. God, it feels like it shouldn't be like this. It feels like I should be doing this differently. Like, on the one hand, it is working. But on the other hand, the timing is so tight, it doesn't feel like a good solution. Actually, okay, hang on. Yeah, if I just jam the... Yeah. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot easier. And now I have the jammers to take care of those two laser turrets, which hopefully are the last things I'll need these for. No, there's definitely another fucking laser turret over there. So what the shit? Is there another jammer somewhere? Oh, okay, that's a switch. That switch is connected to this laser turret. And if I walk directly underneath it, then it can't target me. Great. Now I just do that way. There we go. Line piece. Did I go like an hour over when I was supposed to go? I think I did. I usually stop at like 9 o'clock local time. I completely lost track. That's fun. And I'm gonna call this extra hour the like makeup work because I'm not streaming tomorrow. Um. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me right now. Gonna be back on Monday with more of this. I have been September of the Free Association. And until I see you next week, I love you. Keep yourself safe. Find something to do and do it. And I'll see you around.